Today, guys, we're going to be talking about 5 must-have mindsets when prospecting. One of my favorite topics to talk about, actually 2 of my favorite topics, it's mindset and prospecting. And the reason being, both of them are the root of something greater. Now, what I mean by that is, a lot of times when people want to proceed in business, proceed prospecting, proceed in sales, and proceed and just to have success somewhere in life, the first root, thing that you must establish, that you must have ready to go, is your mindset, because your mindset kind of dictates, where your actions go. Are you fearful? Are you having limited beliefs? All these things, if you don't conquer them beforehand, then what happens is you cannot proceed to that next level. And when I sit with clients and I coach them in their network marketing business, the first thing I do is we go over their mindset. Hey, what are some limiting beliefs that you're dealing with? What are some things that you're telling yourself in your mind? And we literally go through about an hour session where I just want to figure out where their mindset is at. And the reason being is I can teach them all the skills in the world about prospecting, about sales, about all these other topics. But if their mindset is not on point, then all that is a waste of time. It's a waste of energy. So when it comes to your mindset, and also the other root, the reason why prospecting is the roots as well, is that, there's so many business owners out there. And one of the things that they don't understand is, especially when you're running an online business and network marketing, is you don't have a physical location. You don't have a location where people can walk in and walk out. You can't set the hours of being open from 9 to 5. So how do you determine that your business is open? Well, you determine that your business is open when you're prospecting. Your business, the only way for your business to fail inside of network marketing, inside of sales, is you stop prospecting. And that was one of my favorite takeaways from this book, The Game of Numbers. If you have not read this book, I know it says, this is a professional prospecting for financial advisors, but this applies to any business. This applies to network marketers. This applies to any type of business out there. And, one of the things that I see a lot of people fail in is when they first start prospecting, they just don't have the mindset to be successful. And if you don't take care of some of the common things, if you don't address some of those, mindset issues, then you're going to fall flat when it comes to prospecting. So today, guys, I want to go over, 5 mindsets that, prospectors have, that good prospectors have, that you want to make sure that you have. But before we get started, if you're watching the recording of this, go ahead, click on the subscribe button. Click on the notification bell so you get notified every time we post videos just like this. And by the way, guys, Tom Fernandez here with Social Lead Hub. We are basically a business helping network marketers, teaching them how to get recruits, how to get signups, how to get sales, and leads using social media, by teaching you guys simple tactics that you can implement in your daily routine. So let's get into it. What are some mindsets? So the first thing I want to go over actually goes a lot with this book here that I mentioned earlier, is prospecting is a numbers game. It's not an art, right? And the reason, I say that, and I got that from this book, is there's so many people that I coach, and they're looking for the right thing to say. They're looking for that one sentence. They're looking for, that trick to get everybody just to convert into wanting their, the product or service or opportunity. But that's not what it is. What prospecting is you putting a certain amount of numbers, many numbers, in your favor, knowing that the law of large numbers, the mathematics, is going to work for you. And what I mean by that is, let's say you have 2 scenarios, a gentleman or a lady who's prospecting very little, and they're trying to get the words right. They're like, coach, I need help. What am I saying right or wrong? When I look at that person, I look at their data and I say, how many prospects have you approached? Well, I approached 5 this week. Well, unfortunately, that's not enough data, for anybody to kind of go through to say, okay, here's what you can improve upon. And on the other end, let's say you had somebody who, they prospected 1,000 people. Well, they come to me and they say, hey, I have some people who converted, but I want to improve it. I can give them some tips, some tricks on how to improve that, because they're putting the numbers in their favor. And by the way, whenever you work large numbers like that, you put numbers in your favor, you're gonna get a result. And what happens is your mindset starts to go from, man, what can I say, or how can I say, thinking this is an art and this is just only a skill, to, this is a numbers game. I got to make sure that when I attack this week in prospecting, I just have to put the numbers in my favor. So what happens is your daily regimen switches from, okay, let me learn this awesome script only to, hey, let me make sure I put my reach outs in. Let me make sure that I'm making my phone calls, I'm making my social media messages, I'm connecting with people online. And when you make that shift, that's when results start to happen. So that was number one. Number two is they don't care about the outcome. So many marketers get so emotionally attached to the outcome. Oh my God, I'm so scared if this person says no. And one of the skills that I've noticed, even when I started recruiting like crazy, was that I didn't care about the outcome. When I approached the scenario where I knew I was going to prospect somebody, when I was scared before, when I was a rookie network marketer, brand new, terrified to approach somebody, people can sense it, people can feel it. And what happens is when you have a lack of confidence in approaching somebody, they sniff that right out. So then I had to ask myself a question. What was I so fearful for? The person's not going to beat me up. The worst they could say is no. The person's not going to kill me. They're not going to injure me. What am I so fearful for? And when I got to the root cause of that, I said, you're emotionally attached to the outcome. You see, I was so worried. I wanted that person to say yes so bad that I was scared when I went into the scenario. So I said, Tone, you have to detach yourself from the outcome. You see, putting in the reps is more important than you worried about what they say. You cannot control whether they say yes or no, but I can control if I ask or not. So what ended up happening after that point is I started becoming extremely confident in approaching people. Hey man, you look sharp, just curious, are you open to opportunity? And what ended up happening is they sense the confidence. And when people sense the confidence, they're willing to take a listen. They're willing to hear you out. They're willing to see what it is that you have to say. So the first thing is start practicing in a mindset that you want to have is, I don't care about the outcome. I don't care what happens. I'm just going to make my approach. I'm going to reach out. I'm going to make the phone call. I'm going to prospect this person. Number three, each no or rejection is a lesson learned. I was listening to an interview with this gentleman named 𝘲𝙬 Rodriguez. Many consider him the king of prospecting and network marketing. And he was on a webinar with my mentor, and they were just going at it with just providing valuable information in the realm of prospecting. And 𝘲𝙬 said something so powerful, and he said something so profound that it stuck with me to this day. He said, when I went prospecting, he's like, he has notebooks of thousands of prospects that he's gathered over the years, tens of thousands of prospects. And he said, what I realized from the beginning was each time I go out there and I prospect somebody, it's still a win, even if they say no. And he expanded on that, that concept and that sharing that information with us. And he said, what I mean by that is every time that I approach somebody, I started to pick up on things that either, I was routinely saying that people were saying no to. So then I would change it. Then I started picking up on common objections that people would tell me. So I would prepare for them. He said, then I would pick up on body language and I would prepare for that. He said, then I would notice people would react to how I would approach them. Then I would tweak that. And he said, eventually I got to the point where I started taking notes on scenarios that I was in. And what I would do is I would insert a potential solution for the next time that I cross that scenario when prospecting. So if I prospect somebody and they say, oh man, listen, I got to run. Well, I can either, he can easily say, oh, okay, cool, bye. But what he said is that I started doing things different. I started implementing different, little scripts that I would say. And what happened was he started looking this as almost a game. He started looking at this prospecting like, hey, every time I go out there, it's just a new lesson. It's just something new I can learn. And that's why today he's considered one of the top prospectors in our industry. So number three is make sure that every time you go out there and you get rejection, okay, how can I get better? Use an analogy like sports. Imagine you want to play a sport so bad and you go out there on the court or on the field and, you go out there on a court, you try to make a shot and, you keep missing. Well, that person who's missing that shot, you would say, okay, let me adjust my, let me adjust my mechanics. Let me adjust how I'm releasing the ball. Let me adjust this. Well, we can apply that same mentality that we use to sports and prospecting and say, hey, what can I do here? What can I say different there? So that what happens is over time, we start to see that we're improving, we're getting better, and we're going out there and we're constantly learning new lessons. So that was number three. Number four, I'm getting better and better. This is something, this is not just a mindset that you need to have, but this is also an affirmation that you have to constantly say. This is something that I tell myself constantly. If I had a bad day prospecting, meaning, I didn't get a bunch of numbers, I said, hey, I'm still getting better and better. I'm getting better and better. So in your mind, you got to start doing is start training your brain to say that all the time, right? I'm getting better and better. The only way that you can fail at prospecting is when you stop, right? So when you continue prospecting, understand that you're getting better and better and better. Think about the bamboo tree. The bamboo tree, it's a popular story a lot of people say where, the bamboo tree doesn't grow much at all over a course of 5 years. But then on that fifth, 6 years, it grows, about 100 feet. But what most people don't see is that underneath the ground, the roots of that bamboo tree are growing deep and deep and deep, and it's building a foundation so that bamboo tree can grow big. You guys are like that. Right now you may not be getting the amount of prospects you want, but you're creating and building a foundation that out of nowhere, guys, and I guarantee you this, because you stick with it, you're gonna grow significantly. It's gonna be that exponential growth that a lot of people talk about in business and inside of our industry. So that was number 4. And number 5, no means not right now. So what I mean by that is, when a successful prospector approaches somebody, they already have the mindset that, hey, if this person says no, a lot of, especially online, they just mean not right now. So what ends up happening is their mindset is, hey, I'm not going to get angry or mad, or I'm not going to turn this person off by having a sarcastic comment. I'm going to still build a relationship with them. And what I mean by that is when I adopted this mentality, I remember, a story. I prospected this gentleman who just wasn't interested. He was a single guy. All he cared about was working out, worked at the gym, and just doing his own thing. And what ended up happening is that, a few months later, I reapproached him and I said, hey, bro, just wanted to, follow up with you. How are things? And what ended up happening, man, he started just telling me about his whole life. He's like, man, since the last time we spoke, my whole life changed. I'm about to, just got a new girl, got a girlfriend. She's pregnant. We're moving out. We're doing this. We're doing that. And what happened is his mindset and his entire life changed. So he started looking at things different. And from that scenario, he came on board, became a business partner of mine because his whole life perspective had changed. So having a mindset of, hey, this person means not right now, they don't mean no entirely. What happens is you understand how to cultivate and build relationships. You see a lot of rookies in this industry, what they do is when they hear no, is they start to huff and puff. Oh, well, and they say a snarky comment to their prospect, turning them off forever. So what happens in that rookie mistake is they don't realize that, and this is something that I teach in a lot of my courses, is the people who say no, that's a whole entire list. And an example of that is I have a list of a few hundred prospects that I approached over the last few months. And I code them red, the ones that are not interested, who said no. And this past, week, I went and I followed up with the ones that I connected with a few months ago. And when I reconnected with them, I just wanted to see how they were doing. 3 of the people that I reconnected with are now interested in learning about what I do because their life have changed. You can imagine we're in a pandemic, something that they thought was going to happen didn't go through. So my point to you is your mindset going into prospecting is understand that no's are not that bad, and you're still building a database when you get no. So those are 5 mindsets you need to have when going into prospecting. Number 1, prospecting is a numbers game. It's not an art. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to have the best skills. Just put the numbers in your favor. Number 2, I don't care about the outcome, right? Start setting yourself. I don't care about the outcome. Number 3, each no or rejection is just a new lesson learned. It's a new skill that you can learn underneath your belt, and it's a new way to improve yourself. Number 4, hey, keep repeating in your head, I'm getting better and better. I'm getting better and better. And number 5, no just means not right now. Doesn't mean no forever. So I hope that was helpful. I hope that you guys take these tips and going in, in 2021, the rest of the year, going into the rest of the year, that you really execute on prospecting and understand that it is the foundation of building your business on social media. It's the foundation of what you need to do. And that your mindset is the foundation of being successful, is being consistent, and is the foundation that's going to keep driving you. So guys, as I mentioned earlier, if you guys like content like this and you're watching this on YouTube, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell. As always, your success is important to me, guys. I'll see you guys out there out in the field.